Hey, if you're so smart, then translate this. The words cut through the air like a blade. A hush fell over the room as Richard Hawthorne, a millionaire film director known for his towering ego and designer suits, tossed a crumpled script page onto the polished marble floor. The paper slid across the tiles before coming to rest at the feet of Marilyn Johnson, a middle-aged black woman in a faded cleaning uniform, quietly mopping in the far corner. Richard smirked, holding the rest of the script like it was the crown jewels. This, he announced to his staff, is written in an ancient French dialect. Only real intellectuals could ever understand it. A couple of assistants gave nervous laughs, not because it was funny, but because everyone in that room knew what happened to people who didn't humor Richard Hawthorne. Marilyn looked up slowly. Her dark eyes were calm, but there was something unreadable in them. "I'm just here to clean, sir," she said quietly. "That's right," Richard shot back, his voice dripping with condescension. "Stick to the mop. This is grown-up stuff." He turned his back, expecting the matter to be over. It wasn't. Because what Richard didn't know, what no one in that room knew, was that Marilyn Johnson wasn't just a cleaning lady. Years ago, she had been a promising linguistics student, fluent in Louisiana French, a dialect so rare it was disappearing from the world. Her grandmother had taught her the words, phrases, and history that most people, scholars included, had long forgotten. A life few knew. Marilyn had been born in New Orleans, where the air was thick with the scent of gumbo and jazz spilled into the streets from every corner. Her childhood was steeped in stories told in a warm blend of English and French Creole, passed down by her grandmother. By age 10, she could speak and write fluently in both languages. Teachers called her gifted. She dreamed of becoming a translator, maybe even working for the United Nations. But life had other plans. In her second year of college, her father, the man who had always believed she could do anything, died suddenly. The grief was crushing. Bills mounted, and rent notices stacked up. She left school, promising herself she'd return. But the return never came. She worked whatever jobs she could, waitressing, stocking shelves, and eventually cleaning offices. That's how she ended up on the 28th floor of a glass tower, where Richard Hawthorne ran his movie empire. Still, she never stopped loving languages. She listened to foreign audiobooks on bus rides, studied dialect charts in her spare time, and kept her grandmother's handwritten Creole dictionary tucked safely in her closet. The challenge. Marilyn bent down, picked up the crumpled page, and let her eyes run over the looping script. Her heart skipped. It wasn't just French. It was 17th century French, laced with Creole idioms. Most modern French speakers wouldn't understand half of it. But to her, it was like a voice from home. She didn't hesitate. She began reading aloud. Her voice was clear and steady, each syllable rolling off her tongue like it had been waiting for this moment. The room stilled. The assistants exchanged stunned looks. Richard's smirk faltered. "Wait, you can read that." Marilyn straightened, her posture suddenly regal. "I can do more than read it," she replied, her tone calm but edged with quiet pride. "I can tell you what it means." And she did, translating every line flawlessly, explaining historical references and cultural jokes embedded in the text. She even pointed out a subtle grammatical error the script's writer had made, an error so obscure that even a historian might have missed it. Flipping the script. The assistants were captivated. Richard's cheeks flushed. For years, he had flaunted his supposed mastery of rare scripts as a party trick. It was part of his carefully curated genius persona. But now, in front of his staff, that persona had cracked. Marilyn finished the translation and set the page on his desk. Then she looked him in the eye and said, "The way you treat people says more about your intelligence than any language you can speak." The words landed like a punch. No one moved. No one spoke. Richard looked away, his jaw tight, his arrogance deflated. 2 weeks later, Marilyn returned home one evening to find an envelope in her mailbox. Heavy paper, embossed with a gold crest. It wasn't from her employer. The name in the corner made her pause. Richard Hawthorne. Inside was a letter. To her surprise, it began with an apology. Richard admitted he'd been wrong. He wrote that her knowledge had impressed him more than he could say, and included a job offer. He wanted her to be a cultural consultant on his upcoming historical film set in Louisiana. At first, she thought it was a joke. But when she met him in person, his demeanor was different, humble, even respectful. "I underestimated you," he said. "That day, you taught me something I'll never forget. Never judge a book by its cover." From mop to red carpet, Marilyn took the job. She worked closely with the script team, ensuring that every line of dialogue, every cultural detail, was historically accurate. She corrected scenes, added authentic phrases, and brought depth that no textbook could offer. When the film premiered, critics praised its authenticity. And there, rolling across the credits, was her name, Marilyn Johnson, cultural consultant. Sitting in the darkened theater, Marilyn felt tears well in her eyes. She had gone from cleaning floors to shaping a major motion picture. And Richard? He learned that intelligence isn't about showing off what you know. It's about respecting the knowledge in others, no matter their title or uniform. From that day on, whenever Marilyn heard someone underestimate another person, she would just smile, because she knew how quickly life could flip the script. Sparkles, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another inspiring tale. This has been The Hidden Chapters, where every untold story finds its voice. Until next time, keep believing in the power of respect, kindness, and hidden talents.